Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and patch 8.1 brought a lot of interesting class changes. We saw a lot of changes with classes like Hunter, with Marksman becoming actually playable, Unholy Death Knight becoming a lot more tanky and a lot more powerful for PvP, and even the likes of Elemental Shaman becoming a hell of a lot stronger and even at some point overpowered. Blizzard is continuing to make changes with the game, and with that comes buffs as well as nerfs. In today's video, I'll be discussing all the changes that happen in terms of nerfs for some of the strongest classes in the game right now for patch 8.1 for World of Warcraft PvP. In this video, I'll also go over exactly how these changes will affect these classes as somebody who plays just about every single class in the game at max level in BFA. I hope I can offer a little bit of an insight of how this is going to affect the class, what aspects is it going to affect in terms of PvP, and if the nerfs are really all that bad or simply just a tune down. As always, Blizzard tends to over-nerf classes, but this one might be not nearly as bad. So without further ado, let's get on into the video. Unholy Death Knight is the first spec that we'll be talking about that saw a few nerfs. The melee damage of your Abomination has been reduced by 25%. Attack speed of Abomination has been reduced by 25%, and Necrotic Strike healing absorption has been reduced by 1%. Now, all these don't sound all that terrible. The Abomination did deal a lot of damage in the opener, so decreasing its melee damage is going to make it a little bit more manageable for everyone to deal with. Reducing the auto attack speed of your A-bomb is also going to be huge, because their auto attacks generate a stack of Festering Wound. Part of Unholy DK gameplay is using Festering Wounds to either proc Apocalypse to summon all of your undead, using Scourge Strike for extra shadow damage, or stacking up Necrotic Strikes. So therefore, the Abomination was used in combination with a couple buffs to generate a lot of Festering Wounds to be able to, for the Death Knight, to invest every global and every rune just spamming out Necrotic Strikes. This gave Death Knights a very high healing suppression advantage, and with this, they're reducing the rate at which you generate Festering Wounds, but also the amount of healing reduction there is. You would think that the nerf on Necrotic Strike by 1% is not major, but when you think about it, stacking up 3 or 4 of those at 8% is going to give you a lot more value than stacking up 3 or 4 of those at 7%. So imagine a Death Knight popping all cooldowns and spamming every global in the opener into Necrotic Strikes. 6 times 8 is going to be overall a bigger number than 6 times 7. I don't think this is going to make Unholy Death Knights unplayable by any measure, but this is definitely going to put him a bit more in line with every other class and gives Unholy Death Knights still this interesting mechanic of healing, absorption, and prevention with a nice new honor talent of Abomination for the big burst as well as the setup with Necrotic Strike without completely curbing it to the ground. I actually think this is a very sensible change, but you guys let me know in the comments below, what do you think? For balanced druids, the damage of Star Surge has been reduced by 10%. Also, Arcanic Pulsar Azeroth trait effectiveness was reduced by 60% when engaged in combat with enemy players, which was previously reduced by 50%. So it was already nerfed before, they're just simply turning up the dial a little bit. Arcanic Pulsar reads, Star Surge's damage is increased by set amount. Every 9 Star Surges gain Celestial Alignment for 6 seconds. What this trait means is every 9 Star Surges, the Boomkin gets Incarn if you are talented into Incarn, as that is your major cooldown for balanced druids. Because of this Azeroth trait being super powerful when it comes to PvP, for Boomkin to have 6 seconds worth of Incarnation, maybe with a little bit of resources saved up ahead of time, and if you insta-cast, you can line up a little bit of burst every 9 Star Surges. So in PvP, Boomkins can line up mini bursts every once in a while without the need of Incarn. This gives Boomkins, I think, a little bit more of a kill potential and more setups in PvP, especially with certain few classes to be able to line this up during another class's burst. Boomkins have insanely high damage in PvP with Incarnation, and spamming out a bunch of Star Surges while Celestial Alignment or Incarnation is up gives you an insane amount of burst DPS. This is a pretty big nerf in terms of damage, but I feel like it'll still allow Boomkins the opportunity to make the setups happen. It does play up to the player's skill, and they're simply just toning down the damage. The spec itself is still all about the big Incarnation damage, and the nerfs to Star Surge for PvP is simply just to balance out the trait, which I think most Boomkins are either stacking or at least running one off. And finally, of course, we were expecting an Elemental Shaman nerf in some way or another. But was this nerf too bad, and is this going to curb the spec, or is it simply going to be a slight adjustment? Lightning Lasso's duration is now nerfed down to 5 seconds, and it only deals 40% of target's maximum health instead of 48. Lava Shock Azeroth trait effectiveness was reduced by 60%, was previously 50%, so a further down nerf, and Stormkeeper now increases Lightning Bolt's damage by 125% when engaged in combat with enemy players, was originally 150%. We knew that Lightning Lasso had to get some changes, so the duration reduction and damage reduction is kinda nice. The Lava Shock change and Stormkeeper change, I think, is a change to curb Elemental Shaman's burst combo. Imagine doing PvP in arenas like 3v3s, you get full cross CC on the enemy team, and as a Shaman you drop the enemy down into a Lightning Lasso with Sky Fury Totem running. Sky Fury is going to make your crits a lot more powerful, so you have Lightning Lasso that'll do basically half of someone's health into double Stormkeeper Lightning Bolt, which does, let's say 30% of the health, and then you smack him with a big old Earth Shock, which after the changes for 8.1 still hits like a truck. So it was a big bursty combination that came from the Shaman alone, so I feel like it's not that bad that they nerfed it. I don't think this is going to be enough to make him completely do 0 damage whatsoever. I think this is just a small adjustment primarily for the bursty setup in arenas. I think this is going to be hard to notice if you're just playing the game every day and you're just playing the PvP side very casually. If you're someone who's going for very high-end PvP, like very high rated gladiator level, like the top of the top percent, then I think every bit of damage is going to make a bit of a difference, and this is simply bringing Elemental Shamans more in line rather than making them overpowered. So in that regard, I think the change is actually not terrible, but you guys let me know in the comments below. Play around on your LH Shaman, play around on your Balanced Druid, play around with your Unholy Death Knight, see if you guys can notice a difference. Overall, I think the changes that Blizzard made to all these classes have been more or less reasonable. People did ask for, hey, can we do something about Ellie Shamans? Hey, can we do something about maybe Boomkins? Hey, can we do something about the Unholy Death Knights? I literally can't heal my team as soon as he gets his procs and stacks and everything. So overall, I'm happy that Blizzard isn't just taking something that's strong in the game, not necessarily overpowered, but something that's just baseline strong. And I'm glad that they're not just curbing it completely into the ground where it just becomes completely unplayable. Overall, very happy how they've done this change so far, and I wonder if this will affect our dueling series, which should be happening today by the time this video goes live. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts about the nerfs that happen in PvP down in the comments below. And as always guys, I'll see all of you in another video.